Air is all around us, yet we rarely notice it unless it moves. Think about the rustling leaves, swaying clothes, or fluttering pages of a book when a fan is switched on. These everyday moments remind us of air's presence even though we cannot see it. Air is essential for all living things, as we learned in earlier chapters. In this video, we'll explore what air is, where it exists, and why it's so important for life on Earth. Let's begin our journey by understanding how we feel air and why it's everywhere, even though it's invisible. You ever flown a kite or watched clothes flutter on a line? These activities are possible because of moving air. Even simple games like spinning a fianchy, a small pinwheel, rely on air to rotate. During storms, wind can blow at high speeds, sometimes uprooting trees or blowing off rooftops. These powerful effects show us that air is not just present but active and influential in our daily lives. We may not see air, but we certainly feel its force and observe its impact all around us. Air plays a role in many daily activities. For example, winnowing separating sand and sawdust is more effective when air is moving. The weathercock, often seen on rooftops, shows the direction of the wind, helping us understand how air moves at a particular place. These simple tools and activities demonstrate that air is not just present but also useful and necessary for various tasks. Whether it's helping us play, work, or observe the weather, air is always involved. Let's investigate whether air is present everywhere. If you close your fist, it seems empty, but is it really? Try taking an empty bottle and turning it upside down. It appears empty, but when you dip it into water, bubbles form as air escapes. This experiment shows that air occupies space even in places that seem empty. Air fills all available space, making it present everywhere around us, even inside seemingly empty containers. When you dip an open bottle into water, the water doesn't enter unless you tilt the bottle. This is because air inside the bottle blocks the water. As you tilt, air escapes as bubbles and water fills the space. This simple experiment proves that air occupies space and is present everywhere, even in places we think are empty. Air is transparent and has no color, making it invisible but always present. Our planet is surrounded by a thin layer of air called the atmosphere. This layer extends many kilometers above the Earth's surface. As we move higher, the air becomes rarer. Mountaineers, for example, carry oxygen cylinders when climbing high mountains because the air is thinner and contains less oxygen. The atmosphere is essential for life, providing the air we breathe and protecting us from harmful rays. For a long time, people believed air was a single substance. However, experiments have shown that air is actually a mixture of many gases. The major components are nitrogen and oxygen, with smaller amounts of carbon dioxide, water vapor, and other gases. This mixture is vital for life, supporting respiration, burning, and the water cycle. Let's look closer at each component and its role. Air contains water vapor, which is crucial for the water cycle. When air touches a cool surface, it condenses and forms droplets. This is why you see dew on grass in the morning or water droplets on cold windows. The presence of water vapor helps maintain moisture in the environment and supports life by enabling the water cycle. Oxygen is a vital component of air. It supports burning and is necessary for living organisms to breathe. In an experiment, when a candle is covered with a glass tumbler, it goes out after some time because the oxygen inside is used up. The other candle, exposed to air, keeps burning. This shows that oxygen is essential for combustion and life. Nitrogen makes up the largest portion of air. It does not support burning, which is why the candle covered with a glass tumbler goes out. Nitrogen is important for plants and animals, playing a key role in growth and development. Although it doesn't support combustion, it helps maintain the balance of gases in the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is a small but important component of air. In closed rooms with burning materials, carbon dioxide can build up, causing suffocation. Plants and animals produce carbon dioxide during respiration and burning. It is advisable not to burn dry leaves or crop remains, as this increases pollution. Carbon dioxide is also used by plants during photosynthesis, helping maintain the balance of gases. Air also contains dust and smoke. Factories use tall chimneys to release smoke and gases away from people, but this can affect birds and the environment. Dust particles are always present in air, varying by location and time. These particles can be seen in beams of sunlight, especially in dark rooms with a slit of light. Dust and smoke are harmful, so it's important to keep air clean. To observe dust in air, close all doors and windows in a room and let sunlight enter through a small slit. You'll see tiny shining particles moving in the beam of sunlight. These are dust particles which dance merrily in the light. Similar effects can be seen outdoors, especially in winter when sunlight filters through trees. This simple observation shows that air contains dust particles. When we breathe, air enters our nostrils. Fine hair and mucus inside the nose prevent dust particles from entering the respiratory system. Breathing through the mouth can allow harmful dust to enter the body. This shows how important it is to inhale air properly and how our bodies are designed to filter out dust and keep us healthy. Air is mainly composed of nitrogen and oxygen, making up 99% of its volume. The remaining 1% consists of carbon dioxide, water vapor, and other gases. Dust particles may also be present. The exact composition can vary from place to place and over time, but nitrogen and oxygen are always the major components. Air is present in water as well. When you heat water in a container, tiny bubbles form on the inside before it boils. These bubbles are air escaping from the water. Aquatic animals rely on dissolved oxygen in water for respiration. This shows that air is not only around us but also dissolved in water, supporting life in ponds, rivers, and oceans. Air is also present in soil. When you pour water onto dry soil, bubbles appear as air is displaced. Organisms living in soil and plant roots use this air for respiration. Burrows and holes made by animals allow air to move in and out of the soil. Heavy rains can fill these spaces with water, forcing soil animals like earthworms to come out for air. Plants and animals depend on each other for the exchange of gases. Animals consume oxygen and produce carbon dioxide during respiration. Plants use carbon dioxide for photosynthesis and produce oxygen. This cycle maintains the balance of gases in the atmosphere, showing the interdependence of all living things. Air is essential for life on Earth. It supports breathing, burning, and the water cycle. Air also helps in the movement of sailing yachts, gliders, parachutes, and airplanes. Birds, bats, and insects can fly because of air. Seeds and pollen are dispersed by wind, helping plants reproduce. Air plays a crucial role in many natural processes. Windmills use the power of moving air to rotate. They are used to draw water from tube wells, run flour mills, and generate electricity. The wind's energy is harnessed for practical purposes, showing how air can be used to benefit society. Windmills are a great example of renewable energy powered by air. Air plays an important role in the water cycle. Water vapor in air condenses to form clouds and eventually falls as rain. This cycle is essential for maintaining life, providing water for plants, animals, and humans. Air helps distribute moisture and supports the continuous movement of water in nature. Plants produce oxygen during photosynthesis, a process where they make their own food using sunlight and carbon dioxide. Although plants also consume oxygen for respiration, they produce more than they use. This is why plants are considered oxygen producers, helping maintain the balance of gases in the atmosphere. Balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is maintained through respiration in animals and photosynthesis in plants. This balance is crucial for life, ensuring that there is enough oxygen for breathing and carbon dioxide for plant growth. The interdependence of plants and animals keeps the atmosphere stable. Air enables movement in many ways. It helps birds, bats, and insects fly. It allows sailing yachts, gliders, parachutes, and airplanes to move. Air also helps disperse seeds and pollen, aiding plant reproduction. The presence of air is essential for these activities, showing its importance beyond breathing. Aquatic animals use dissolved oxygen in water for respiration. When water is heated, air escapes as bubbles, showing that air is present in water. This dissolved air is vital for fish and other aquatic creatures, allowing them to breathe and survive in their habitats. Plant roots and soil organisms rely on air present in soil for respiration. Burrows made by animals create spaces for air to move in and out. Heavy rains can fill these spaces with water, forcing soil animals to come out for air. This shows how air is essential for life below the ground as well. Air is transparent and colorless, making it invisible to our eyes. However, its presence is felt through its effects such as movement, breathing, and supporting life. The transparency of air allows sunlight to reach us, supporting photosynthesis and warming the earth. Air quality can be affected by dust, smoke, and pollution. Policemen regulating traffic often wear masks to protect themselves from harmful particles. Clean air is essential for health, so it's important to reduce pollution and keep our surroundings clean. Observing dust on windows or leaves can help us understand air quality in different areas. Air is essential for breathing, burning, movement, and the water cycle. It supports life in water, soil, and on land. The balance of gases in air is maintained by plants and animals, ensuring a stable environment. Air's many functions make it vital for life and the planet. Sum up: air is everywhere around us, invisible but essential. It occupies space, supports life, and enables countless activities. Air is a mixture of gases, mainly nitrogen and oxygen, with water vapor, carbon dioxide, and dust. Plants and animals depend on each other for the exchange of gases, maintaining the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Air is present in water and soil, supporting aquatic and terrestrial life. Understanding air's role helps us appreciate its importance and motivates us to protect our environment for future generations.